If you've paid any attention to the leadership of the Republican Party here in Washington over the past 30 years, and in particular, if you paid attention to what they've done when they've had power, it's clear what they care most about. They care most about cutting taxes for high earners, for their donors. They care about helping American companies ship their jobs overseas or import foreigners here to work at lower wages. They care about launching wars in far-off places. They've done all of those things, and as they have, with the help of the Democratic Party, the American family has decayed, and the middle class along with it. The Republican Party has also decayed at the same time. If Democratic leaders didn't repeatedly make it clear how much they despise this country and the people who live in it, the Republican Party would probably be dead by now. They've been saved by the extremism of their opponents. But does it have to be this way? What would it look like if the Republican Party embraced a new agenda, one that included helping American families form and thrive? Johnny Burkta has thought a lot about this question. He's executive editor of The American Conservative, and he joins us tonight. Johnny, thanks so much for coming on. So what would a Republican Party that had American families at its center look like?
Well, Tucker, for the past 30 years, as you've noted, the Republican Party has paid a lot of lip service to families, especially around election time, to win votes. But they've done very little to support the bedrock institution that holds our country and our economy together. America cannot be great unless the institutions that support us from the bottom up are strong. These include churches, schools, institutions of civil society, but most importantly, the family. What happens in the family determines the course of what happens in someone's life. It determines the course of our culture and the course of our country. And the family in America today is under siege. Conservatives have rightly pointed out a number of areas for many years, like the pernicious influence of Hollywood, the impact of growing impact of Silicon Valley with the addictive products they're marketing to children, including pornography. But today, conservatives are finally starting to wake up to another threat, which is malignant market forces that are undermining our families. Now, there are many of them. One of them that I like to point out is crony capitalism. Now, crony capitalism, as I would define it, is collusion between big government and big business at the expense of the American people. It's pretty easy for someone like Pete Buttigieg to graduate from a top school like Harvard and get a job for a management consulting firm in Washington making PowerPoints for a faceless bureaucracy like the Postal Service, or maybe if you're lucky, you know, designing PowerPoints for a foreign dictator or pushing pills for big pharma and to make a six-figure salary. But really what's going on is that the jobs are being sapped from the heartland to pad the pockets of a few politically connected people in Washington, D.C., and middle America is not going to tolerate that anymore. So I'm excited.
What's so striking is that middle America, the parts of the country that have been most wounded by these changes, the economic changes the country's gone through, are Republican areas mostly. I mean, rural America is reliably Republican, and it's dying, and the Republican Party in Washington, which is supposed to be representing it, doesn't seem to notice. How does that work?
Well, they've deliberately ignored middle America because they counted on their votes until this recent election when Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan finally flipped to the Republicans, and they're starting to realize, oh, wow, this new constituency is a fundamental part of our base if we want to maintain power. And the trade deals that have decimated the economies in these places, Republicans are starting to take them seriously, which is why I've been encouraged that Ivanka Trump at the White House is putting paid family leave front and center at the agenda for the White House. They're going to be hosting a summit on the topic this week. And other members in the Senate, like Marco Rubio, have introduced bills, Bill Cassidy, and they're starting to talk about things like common good capitalism. They're starting to look at how conservatives can support the family from the bottom up, and they're going to need to find a way to do this if they want to be a party that wins at the ballot box. Now, keep in mind that the alternative...
You're absolutely right. And it's because of intellectual leaders like you and the publication that you run that the path forward, I think, is clearer than it has been in a long time. And I thank you for that. Johnny, great to see you.
Great. Thanks for having me, Tucker.